Here's why you're not actually losing weight. You're going to the gym, you're trying to eat healthier, you're doing cardio, but you're still not seeing progress. The real problem is that you're still just eating too many calories. And even if the food is healthy, if you're still eating too much of that, you're going to be in a caloric surplus, so you're going to be gaining size. You won't be able to lose weight like that. And doing hours of cardio, that's not the solution either. If you're going to the gym, you're going to a treadmill, you're saying, oh, you know what? I'm eating a little bit, so let me do an extra 3 hours, try to offset it. You're going to be there for 3 hours more. It's going to take more time. So you're wasting energy. It's inefficient compared to just saying, let me not eat all this. Let me portion it out better. And it works the other way too. If you're trying to build muscle, if you're trying to bulk up, you got to know how much you're eating. Because you can think you're eating a good amount. You can be eating healthy, which is a great thing. But if you're not eating enough food, you're not going to be putting on the size you want to see. So if you actually want to see the changes in your physique that you've been working hard for, that you've been consistent with it, that you've been really grinding for it, you need to start portioning your food and following your caloric intake. You can find online like simple calorie calculators that calculate, your caloric maintenance, your surplus, and your deficit, and then go from there, just following what it tells you. So whether you're cutting or bulking or just maintaining, just having the information, just knowing your caloric maintenance, your caloric surplus, your deficit, just knowing those numbers, it's going to be a lot easier. You're going to see a lot more progress. You're going to just overall have a better time on the journey you're trying to go on. Everyone says that abs are made in the kitchen, but it's not just abs. It's almost everything. It's almost your entire physique. If you really want to see a specific goal for yourself, you really want to get to a specific point, you have to be locked in the kitchen. You have to be locked in with what you're putting in your body. And it really does get that deep. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. You really got to start tracking if you want to take your physique to the next level. The least you could do is just find out what those goals are, like the maintenance goals, the surplus goals, the deficit goals, and then just aim to just hit those. Maybe you won't be exactly perfect, but that's still gonna be better than just eyeballing whatever, not really knowing, just thinking you're gonna eat more, thinking, you'll be fine. And of course, again, eating healthy is a great thing, but if your portions are out of whack, what are you really doing? At the end of the day, your calories still matter. If you need help on your fitness journey, shoot me a DM and we can get to work.